Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
I want to make it clear that the views expressed by our hosts are not considered the official stance of MBR Views. Remember, this is all about having fun and enjoying the ride.
Turnbuckles and Stogies.
Yo, good morning, happy Saturday morning. This is your boy, Big Dog. I am here with the OG cigar tender and the living legend himself, the Vanilla Gorilla. We are here in Honjo's Lounge. It's a secret location, I can't tell you where. It's a special lounge, by the way. So today, we are going to have some special guests on. As y'all know, we do a lot of special things because we're special people. So, first thing I want to say is my thoughts and prayers go out to Dutchess County, to Wappinger Falls, to the big house explosion on Thursday, to all the injured, and to the 2 kids and the mother that got severely burned. So, our thoughts and prayers go out to them. So, what are we going to talk about today, gentlemen?
Well, welcome to Turnbuckles and Stogies. What's going on, guys? What's up, Big Dog? What's up, Vanilla Grill?
Guy's under the weather today, so you got to excuse him. He doesn't feel well. He's not his normal self. So I am smoking the SP1014 7 by 50.
I got my Liga T52.
And he's smoking a Nika Roma.
Nice.
So, and he's playing with a
Look at the look. Look at the look.
He's a pyromaniac. You gotta excuse him. He got help for that. 1-800-EAP for you. So, let's talk about some sports right away. Let's get into how the Raiders fired from the general manager down and put in former New York Giant Pierce in there. What do you think of that change?
I think that's going to be good for them. I do.
Do you think we should have picked him up as a coach?
I don't know. I think we have a decent coach for now, but there's more to be seen when the rest of the season comes.
All right.
Well, you know, given the Giants' history of what a fantastic organization, all the Super Bowls they've won, I think it's a pretty good pickup for him.
Who's that? The ball?
Yeah, I think so. Don't you think?
I
think it's a good
the
pickup.
last few games.
I think it'll work out for him.
The last few games, there's some calls that's a little iffy. It's like when I was watching that one game. I think it was Arizona when they spotted the ball. And then a ref walked over, and another ref stood in front of him, and he picked the ball up and moved it a few more feet, and then the other ref walked away. Now, how do you not see that? It's the same thing like I was watching a college game, and the ref lives the next town over, and he was calling everything on the other team because that was his team because they live next town over.
I didn't see that game, but, sometimes it does feel like when you're watching all these different professional games, NFL, college, it does seem like there's some bias on the referees. Like, they should be neutral, right? I mean, obviously they should be neutral. But, yeah, does it appear sometimes the perception look like they got favoritism? Yeah, absolutely. Is there? I don't know if there's proof of that. I don't know, but it's definitely an interesting theory, that's for sure.
Okay.
But I think the Raiders got a bigger issue. I think they got to figure out a play calling. Listen, they got a very solid quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo. A very solid quarterback. The problem is they don't have an offensive coordinator, an offensive game plan tailored to round what Jimmy Garoppolo needs to do to make him win. They don't build him up as an individual and play to his strengths. He's not a pocket passer. He's a rollout, dink and dunk guy. He's not looking to go 20, 30, 40 yards down the field. He's not that guy. And that's what every team, including the 49ers, try to make him do. So you got to, in my opinion, the Raiders got to figure out a way to get a play scheme that works for Garoppolo. That's just my opinion.
Who's the one that they traded? Because everybody on the team said they should have never traded him. Who was their quarterback?
Oh, before Garoppolo?
Before Garoppolo.
The Raiders was
David Carr. That's
Carr,
right. David
right?
Carr. Thank
Carr.
you. To our special guest over there.
Another.
Actually, he's going to
Listen.
be popping host soon. You know, in a few weeks, we're going to have him popping in as a host. So, he's going to be our fourth host. We're supposed to have 4. The other one couldn't make it. What do you want? So I invested some money and put the guy on.
We shall see, right?
You know,
We
guy
shall
said he's
see.
willing to do it. Hey, why not have 4 of us?
Hey, listen.
Add one more
Bigger
handsome face.
topic in the NFL is the collapse of the San Francisco 49ers. Listen, as a Niner fan, it's an utter, total implosion right there.
So he's a Niner fan and a
Defensively.
Buffalo fan.
Defensively, they just absolutely collapsed. Now, 49ers have taken steps. They went out and got Bryce Young. They're going to try to shore up that cornerback position. Outside linebacker position. They're going to have an end rusher on the opposite side of my boy Nick Bosa. So that should hopefully get some pressure on the quarterback because in 4 games now, they don't have a single sack in 4 games. And that's egregious when you got a guy like Nick Bosa on that team.
So now we're going to turn it over to him. And I haven't really been watching wrestling, so now we're going
I
to.
haven't either, but I do know that at 12 o'clock is Crown Jewel because they're over in Saudi Arabia today. So, well, technically today's Saturday. It's technically over there. It's probably Sunday.
Sunday over.
It's technically Sunday over there. So they've been there, I believe, all week. I know the main match that's supposed to happen is LA Knight versus Roman for the title.
Did you get it done?
That's tonight.
Well, there's been a lot of
We were talking about that on the way.
speculation that WrestleMania 40 is when Roman drops the title to Cody.
Because his leukemia is
And then-
kicking up on him.
He pretty much is finished after that. He'll go part-time, kind of like he is now.
See, now I
Because they're
heard.
saying the scars from his leukemia are taking a toll on his body.
See, that's what I heard too. I heard that
So
rumor.
they're saying that this is probably his last full run of events, and then he's gonna be either done or he's gonna go part-time or do like a Brock and come in every 3-4 months and do a big
when they need a
to
boost.
do.
when
And,
they're-
yeah.
that kind of thing. Hey, listen, we'll go back to Crown Jewel, but there's one thing on my mind. I'm a huge Chris Masters fan.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of him picking up the title? I mean, I did not see the match. I did not see the
I'm
match.
okay with that because he's already had an NWA title, so he's had the NWA national title. I think he's had the tag titles.
Yes.
So I'm not surprised he got that Stu Hart championship. I forget what company it was for.
That
Drawing a
was,
complete and total blank. I think it was somewhere in Canada.
Yeah, it was a Canadian NC something, right?
Yeah.
NCW. Or
Say it
something.
right. Say it right. Canadian.
So I think
This guy.
It's Canadian.
This guy.
All my friends that are live with us when we do our lives, when they come on, I say, hey, look, it's my boy Mush from Canada.
so. I'm okay with that. I think that's
That makes you feel better.
I think that's good.
That's what we do.
I think that's good. I'm all right with that.
I listen. I think number one, he's a gifted athlete.
He is.
I think he definitely deserves it. So I definitely.
The asterisk. Just lift it.
Yeah, I'll move it over. I think he definitely deserves it. There you go, brother. And I like his character. I like the way he developed that character. It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was always his character to begin with because he came up with it.
Yeah, but he developed it over the years.
Yeah.
It was raw and it was rough when it first came out.
Well, because they didn't. I think it was good. He was. You have to remember too. He was also a young dude, just being brought in from OVW, so he didn't really have a whole lot of experience underneath him.
Yeah.
And for y'all that don't know where the Master Lock came from, it came from my man, Billy Jack Haynes.
Well, I mean, the Master Lock really.
Billy Jack Haynes was the guy that once he put that full Nelson on you wasn't getting
The
out of
Master
that.
Lock is essentially just a full Nelson. So.
Correct. So, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to pay our bills, and we'll be back.
Ring that bell.
Hey, it's Michelle from Park Lane Tobacconist. Come on down for a great selection of pipe tobaccos, cigars, accessories, you name it. Come on down and check us out. I want to thank Turnbuckles and Stogies for promoting us on their program, and back to them at MBR Radio.
Hey, welcome back to Turnbuckles and Stogies. We're recording, but we're also live on Instagram. Right now, we're here in an undisclosed location with the group known as the New York Asshole Cigar Club. Is that correct? All right. Who we got here, big dog?
We have the captain of the New York Assholes, Mr. Pugz himself. And for y'all
What up, Pugz?
For y'all that don't know him, bro,
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
we
Hey,
appreciate
thanks
you
for
having us
jumping
at
on, man.
Hondo's place.
Yeah, thanks for hosting.
Yeah, it's
This
a pleasure to have
is
you guys here.
absolutely fantastic.
Never
this
did a
is-
podcast before.
No?
No.
Really?
Well,
So it's your first one?
Be gentle.
So that's still,
so
so
we popped it. We popped
We
the
popped the
podcast
cherry.
cherry.
No.
Popped the cherry.
Don't use
How about
that.
that?
So now,
As long
ladies.
as you give a reach around, it's okay.
That's all good.
So we're gonna start out. So let me ask you this. So when did you start smoking cigars?
Oh, God, back in the 80s.
What was your very first cigar that you smoked? Do you remember?
Don't fall out of your chair. It was probably a Tiparillo.
Hey, we all get to start something, right?
A
Okay, so
Tiparillo.
Yeah, we used to think we were big shots. We'd go buy the Tiparillos, a pack of whatever they came in, 4 or 5.
Yeah, the 4 or
from
5 packs.
Optimo,
Optimal.
or the
The-
Te Amo stores, and then you walk out with a pack of Tiparillos.
and I'm sure we've all done that before.
Who hasn't had one?
You know, if you never had a Tiparillo, was it the wooden
You
Tiparillo?
haven't lived.
Was it a plastic tip?
They had both. If we were going deluxe, we went with the wood tip.
And back then they were probably like 75 cents a box.
I think they were $1.25.
Now for a 4-pack of those, it's like $5.
Every now and then we would get crazy and get the Dinobles or one of those, you know.
The Noblies and the old man smokes the Amarettos that they just sit there and they go,
Yeah.
and they just chew it and
No, I haven't.
and they're chewing on it. And then all of a sudden you go to talk to them and they take it out and go, yeah, so you know.
Or
If
it
they
just
chew
sits
on
on
a
their
stick,
teeth, on their lips.
it's like a fucking branch.
So, cigars, what are you smoking right now?
This would be a thin green line from Fat Boy Cigars.
Boots on the ground.
Yeah, the Boots on the Ground series.
Shout out to Fat
We're gonna
Boys.
give them a little love because I mean this is
I love the
definitely
Fat Boys.
this is a Candela and so far it's fantastic. And you know you gotta love what they're doing. giving back the whole night. So shout out to Fat Boys, man. And
Yeah.
their Boots on the Ground series. Every one of these has been on point.
And we're not talking about the rap group, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about a cigar maker.
So you got the V cut going on?
Yes, sir. That's
Is
my
that your favorite cut?
That's
Yeah.
all I use.
So now, do you ever use a punch?
I used to exclusively use a punch back in the day.
And it
For everything.
did it give you more flavor? No.
I don't notice any difference with all of that. Don't matter to me. V cut, straight cut, punch. They all smoke the same.
They all smoke the
Some
same.
guys will say V cut this, punch that, side cut
Now,
this.
what's that other one, Bud? That the V cut, the crown cut.
The crown cut.
Have you ever done that?
Cut?
No.
I think he did it once.
I find that my cigars definitely do not unravel with a V cut. Sometimes you straight cut and you're starting to lose it. You know, I mean, and someone will say, well, you cut it too low, but it doesn't matter. If the cap's not right and you cut it,
Correct.
so the V cut, it seems to stay together, you know, better together.
So now, let's ask this question. I know the answer, obviously. Tell these fine people in TV land how you became an asshole.
Were you born that way?
Definitely born that way. I think we were sitting here in the lounge and Coop had a patch or something. I forget exactly. And I'm like, oh shit. I was like, you joined up with those guys? He's like, yeah. I said, well, I guess I better get on my game. I guess I better get in. And the rest is history.
So
I did
how,
what I needed to do. I remember seeing these guys post a while back, and I looked into the Asshole Cigar Club, but there was like a dead end. I'm not bashing my brothers
Correct.
in the club, but you would go to the website and there was like nothing there. Now, if you look at the website today, it's fantastic. But I went to the website, looked at it because I saw the patch. I think you guys were at JR that
Yes,
day.
Probably.
And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, man. So I looked it up, and it was pretty much a dead end. So I just kind of put it on the back burner, and then Coop, whatever, a year or so later, pops in the lounge, and he's got his patch. And I'm like, all right, I guess I got to get in.
And see, a lot of people don't realize in order to get into assholes, you have to post 10 times. 10 times.
That's what it used to be.
I don't know what it is now because
Yeah, requirements have changed. You know, you have to have Instagram, Facebook, Discord, or a combination of the two. You have to do, you have to be very, consistent the whole nine. So it's not really a minimum requirement of posts. It's more
participation.
so now when
we like people, actually make friends because we're a small group in New York. We have 60 members or whatever we have, but there's only about 20, 25 of us that, if that many that do everything together. So
How often, like, how many times a year do you all get together, like, and where? Just around this area, or?
we spread the love. I mean, these guys will tell you too when they come on. We try to get out and go around because we have friends all over. So we try to support everywhere we go. We take a couple trips a year up to Buffalo and see all our friends up there, at least two.
you haven't been to
we get-
Martinez in a while.
No, and that's the problem is, the deal down there with the parking and everything
Parking,
else. You
yeah.
want to pay whatever it is, $25.
Yeah, you
go
have to
into
go down
fucking
in, like,
to go
2 or
towards
3
10th
cars.
Avenue and
Yeah.
out. So, plus now everything's somewhat back to normal, so traffic's not like what it was during COVID and all that shit. But, but we definitely got to go show Martinez some love because we miss those guys. But yeah, we just try to get out. We go to Pennsylvania, Jersey.
So what are the New York assholes up to in the present? What are you guys doing?
Not too much, man. But you see, we got a lot of stuff going on with the chapter. We're doing different raffles, fundraisers, whatever it is, and we're just doing our thing. We had a nice little meetup going on today, actually.
And one of the
some guys
biggest-
coming up around noon. So
Biggest things you guys do is Cigar for Warriors, correct?
we always try to do something every year for Cigars for Warriors. We used to do something centered around the Wings for Warriors event, which has since folded, or the gentleman Charlie retired, so that event is no longer in existence. So we're going to probably maybe look for another one that we can try to get a group together to go to every year. That's definitely veteran, military oriented, so so we can give back. Because there's tons of regular cigar events, but we like that one because it was, a fundraiser.
Well, I'd love to get you guys up to my home lounge up in up north of Albany, up around there. Every year I do a Super Bowl fundraiser geared around the military in some way, shape, or form. Last year I did Cigar for Warriors. I gave out, I sent around 1,200 cigars to Cigar for Warriors. Sent them around $1,100. So that was last year's fundraiser. Not to turn this back around, but I'd love to have you guys participate this year with my fundraiser. This year is for military mental health awareness. And it goes toward not just military, but first responders as well, police, fire, EMS, because there's a big stigma out there where these service providers feel like they can't get the help, or they feel isolated and don't know how to deal with the shit that they see day in and day out. And I think a lot of people don't understand that there's a lot of mental images and situations that they don't know how to deal with. And so this year, my fundraiser is geared to that. And I'd love to have the actual part of that in some way, shape, or form. And even if you come up to my lounge and hang out for a day as a group and just help, like I said, spread the awareness of mental health and how important it is, not only for the military, but like I said, first responders across the board.
And anybody would love to get behind that. It's a great cause.
And when you go up to his lounge, you always have to go in the lounge, and you always have to go, hey, shout out to Fresh Hand Rolls. So, ladies and gentlemen, here you have it. Mr. Pugz himself, one of the captains for the New York Assholes. On that note, we're going to pay the bills. Ring the bell.
Ring the bell!
My name is Justin Manley. I'm the CEO and founder of Black Point BR. Being able to communicate with some of the guys from SF and just hear their stories, understand how much this really means to them as well, and it's just an honor to be able to, work with them closely on this game too as well. So having those conversations has really inspired me even more at this point to go out and go over the top for this game.
I'm a brag baby, so what I did was call on some of the brothers of Special Forces, that unit that I serve. In Fort Bragg, we're a tight-knit family here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and we just came together and we just took it to the moon.
My name is Hector Torres, better known in the Special Operations community as Saber.
My name is Ernest Rob Robinson. In the retired Special Ops 26 years.
My name is Cornell Causey. I served in the U.S. Army for 17 years. I did 6 years with 3rd Special Forces Group.
Going long.
And I'm 27 years in the military, and this is the most exposure that I've had. Especially with the team, such a great team working together, and with so many eyes seeing the billboard, it feels great, outstanding. I feel like I'm a superstar now for the first time in my life.
It's pretty amazing. That's you never take a look at your career and what you've done, and you deserve to be up there, and a lot of mixed emotions about it, but it's still great. Now I have a legacy or something I can at least show my kids, or somebody who wants to travel the same roads, or kids playing video games can take a look at how hey, you too can do something like this, and great chance, great opportunity.
I think about Black Point all the time now. It's like I'm going back into being a kid,
Opportunities like this, it doesn't come around often. This provides a platform for it. I'm all in. I'll tell you everything I did, everything I didn't do, everything I should have done. But I want people to learn from me. That's part of our legacy.
We are back. Turnbuckles and Stogies. Listen, the big dog just steps aside. I got the vanilla gorilla here. My man from the Asheville, Coop. What's up, brother?
How we doing, guys?
Good, man. What's going on?
Happy to be here. Thanks for having us on.
Hey, man, it's a pleasure to meet you in person
Thank you for coming
finally.
on. Big follower of the podcast. Think you guys are doing great things.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Love to hear that, man. Love to hear that. What's new with you?
Nothing, brother. Just living life, one cigar at a time.
Amen. Amen.
Or
What
two
are you
or
smoking
three,
right now,
depending.
bro?
I'm smoking the Oliva Hellion Mob. I'm a big range kind of guy, so I
Yeah.
like big cigars.
Nice.
This is definitely one of my favorites. It's an oldie, but
That is really good.
It's a really good cigar.
That's very good.
More of a fuller body.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Is that your?
Yes.
You like the full
I like
body?
that. I like that profile. Yeah.
Nice, man. Nice. Good. So let's talk some wrestling again. Since your dad stepped aside, we can kind of have a little more in-depth conversation about it. Let's go back to the crown jewel. So we already talked about the possibilities of Roman Reigns retaining the title for now, possibly relinquishing that around WrestleMania. The guy like maybe Cody Rhodes.
Well, that's the plan, because if you think about it, when they cut that promo and, you know, Paul announced all the pay-per-views Cody wasn't going to get another shot at, the only pay-per-view he never said was WrestleMania. So he said every other pay-per-view but WrestleMania.
You're right.
So
What are the odds of maybe LA Knight going up against, let's say, if what's his name, Damian Priest cashes in, you know,
if he cashes in, I don't think it's going to be on Roman.
it's going to be on Rollins.
I think he's going to cash in on Seth. I think they're going to give him the world title.
Do you think that opens up that opportunity for Knight?
Yeah, him or Cody. It's probably going to go more towards Cody. He's probably going to hold on to it all the way through Survivor Series, all the way through the Rumble, and then into Mania is where you're going to see where I believe Cody comes out and wins.
So you know, obviously Roman's, you know, the head of the table, the bloodline. You got Damian Priest. He's not really, there's really no leader, but he's kind of the face of.
Well, you could actually say Rhea's the face.
Well, Rhea's, yeah, but you see a little power struggle going on.
Yeah,
right
but
now. She's kind of calling the shots. And kind of reaching in. So I guess I'm leading into that question: which faction breaks up first? The Bloodline.
Well, the Bloodline is, if you think about it, Bloodline's already broken up, technically.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Because Jay's gone. I think Solo's next. Jimmy's going to leave after that, and it's just going to be Roman. They're all going to leave.
But do you think that it happened?
I think the timing of that happens right around the Rumble and into Mania, and they all go their ways, and maybe you get Jimmy and Jay back together, who knows. Solo goes on his own, wins some mid-card titles, and then works his way up.
So you don't think with Umaga's son and their other cousin, with their contracts expiring, that there could be another civil war between the bloodline and bring them in?
There could be. I mean, it's been talked about. It's been talked about. It's been very talked about. It's just a matter of what? Well, she's already supposed to come up, and then Umaga's other son is down. He actually trained with Booker T, and now he's been doing a lot of independent stuff. So, I mean, there's a very strong possibility that he comes in. It's all going to be a matter of time now, because with this new company taking over, who knows how they're going to start doing their signings and stuff like that. And, you know, if they're going to bring guys right in or right up, or, you know, it all depends.
So along those lines, in the sense of, since we're kind of focusing on WWE, but how many more WWE superstars do you see as their contracts start expiring going over to AEW, which is super hot right now?
I mean,
like, they are just exploding.
There's a lot of it depends on who go. It really depends, because some of those guys are going to go back to doing the indies. Matt Riddle's doing the indies again.
Was it Matt Riddle scheduled to do a Ultimate Fighting
No.
Championship match too?
No, he'll never be allowed back in the UFC.
But no, he is booked to have a martial arts contest
I think against
somebody.
I think it was against Jake Paul. Somebody stupid.
No. Somebody. I believe, if I remember that I was reading about it, he did sign a match, like a UFC type match against somebody.
Might be for another company then.
Well, it's not UFC, so to say, but
Yeah.
he is having a martial arts contest against somebody.
I haven't seen that, but I do know he's supposed to wrestle his first match on the indies, ironically against Rob Van Dam.
I did see that.
For big time wrestling, I believe down in Florida, if I'm right, somewhere down there.
I think they are. Yeah, I think they are. I think like the Tampa area, right?
Could be. I
think
forget.
it's like the Tampa area.
But I
Or is
did
it
read
Orlando?
that he's scheduled to wrestle Rob, and then he's supposed to be doing a lot of signings. He's been booked for some other shows. I mean, there's so many things. I think they said the other rumor that's going to AEW is Dolph. They're gonna put him in there and team him with his brother.
Yeah, I've seen that one. I've seen that.
Which I could see because they're both very good at what they do. I mean, there's so many options.
See, Dolph is so underrated.
Yes.
I think he's a great performer.
He came when he started.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you know, Spirit Squad.
Yeah, when he was a cheerleader.
He started
when
really
they-
rough. He
when
started
they-
really rough.
Destroyed that fucking gimmick, and he went
Yep,
down. He
yeah.
went back down to Florida Championship Wrestling and reinvented the fucking wheel. And
Yeah, I mean, throughout his career, though, he helped
they did.
boost all the careers. He got when he was with AJ Lee, when he was with Big E. He helped them develop their careers, and they went on to bigger and better things.
So let me ask you this. Again, let's stay in WWE just for now. Who's Paul Heyman's next guy? You know he's got someone else in the wing. Who is that? Who's the
It's
next
probably Ava. It's probably Rock's daughter, because she can wrestle, but she's not. From what I've seen, she's not a big talker.
I think personally it's going to be L.
No. No, you know why? You know why? It's not going to be him because he can talk.
Yeah.
They put Paul with guys who can't talk. Brock can talk to a certain extent.
Now.
Roman can kind of talk, but when you put him with Paul Heyman, you just let Paul talk. LA Knight can talk circles around anybody.
So we were talking not too long ago. We were talking about his interaction with Roman Reigns on SmackDown. Tell me about that subtle. Remember, you were telling me about that subtle little dig
when he
it looked like it took everybody off guard when he came out with that line.
Yeah, when he quoted Cena's entrance music.
Yes.
Yes.
Bring us back to that.
I forget what he said.
He said, "You're talking like someone's about to live in the past."
Right.
Yeah,
Or
something
not
to that
exist in the present.
something to that extent out of Cena's entrance music, and it popped everybody.
Even Paul Heyman in the background was like,
Everybody
his
popped.
eyes, Paul
Cena
Heyman's
laughed.
eyes lit up like
The place
he
went
didn't know
crazy.
that line
Yeah,
was coming.
I think because that wasn't. I think he just kind of
Off the cuff.
he kind of did it
Yeah.
because that's just what he does.
Yeah.
He's just good at. I mean, you know, look at when they had him in TNA, or I'm sorry, Global Force at the time, when he was paired with Chris Masters.
Yeah.
And they went on that long tag run, and both of those guys can talk. But Masters didn't have to talk when you had Eli Drake by his side. He didn't have to talk. He didn't have to talk.
Yeah, but that was a big moment on SmackDown.
It was.
I thought going into it when I heard he was gonna have that face to face with Roman, I'm like, this is like a make or break for LA Knight in the sense of putting him over that plateau of because I felt like he got
wasn't so worried about that because I know his in-ring and his mic skills supersede
superior
just about anybody now. So I wasn't worried about him getting over with the crowd or over Roman because as soon as his music hits, everybody knows who it is.
Yeah.
He gets it once in a generation pop, as they call it.
Who's a bigger pop, LA Knight or Cody Rhodes? In your opinion, who's a bigger pop when he comes out?
It's two different animals. I mean, if you think about it, Cody is technically a homegrown guy. So, yes, he left for that 4 or 5 years and went to AEW and started that. But he had to go away, learn a new hold, as they call it, and come back.
He had to get out from Dad's shadow.
Well, he did, but he's always going to be a Rhodes. Dusty's always going to be a WWE guy, and he was a homegrown guy in WWE. He went through FCW. He was in NXT, and then he came up, and he was partnered with Ted DiBiase Jr. and Randy, and he ran to the promised land.
Absolutely.
In my opinion, LA Knight, why he gets such a big pop the way he does, is that he's got the attitude era in him, but he put a modern twist on it. He made it his home.
He did.
And the crowd is loving it.
He took Austin and Rock and put them together.
Yeah, exactly.
It's basically what he did. He took that badass attitude of Austin, that, fuck you, I'm going to do what I want.
Right.
Got himself over. I mean, and even him, he was part of WWE's developmental for a while. He left, went on his own, ran the Indies, went to TNA, became Eli Drake, and after that, the rest was history.
I mean, LA Knight, before he became big, he was actually helping, as you said, WWE. Did you guys know that for the video games, he choreographed all the moves for the video games?
He did. For I think
did not know that.
I think since they went to 2K, which was 2012.
Yep.
So from 2012, even when he was in another company and on the Indies, he was doing all the choreograph he was doing all the moves for the games.
Oh wow! Yeah,
But that's because he had a separate contract with 2K.
Gotcha. Yeah. I'm gonna give you guys a prediction tonight. I don't see LA Knight winning the championship tonight, but I do think his new feud is going to start tonight.
Possibly.
I think Roman's gonna win, but he's not gonna win clean.
He rarely does.
He rarely does, but tonight's going to start a new feud for LA Knight.
Okay.
I'd be curious to see who it is.
What's your other prediction? What are you guys' predictions for the other matches on the card?
I don't know a lot of the other matches because I quite honestly haven't looked at it. That was my intention the last couple days, but
I think we're going to see Drew beat Seth.
I could see that.
So.
I also see that it's the return of the Broken Dreams entrance music and gimmick,
Yes,
and I think that
they're going to run Drew. They're going to go down that line where he's been such a baby face the whole time, and he's going to go down that line. No one showed me respect, and this I was a workhorse, and I didn't get respect. No one appreciated me, and that's going to turn Drew back heel, and I think he's going to take it from Seth.
See, I agree he's going to turn heel again, but I think it's because he's going to lose.
I don't think he loses.
I think he loses.
I don't think he loses.
And I think he wins it at the grandest stage of them all. I think he wins the title at WrestleMania.
I think what's going to happen, to be honest, because everyone's speculating Jay joining the Judgment Day. I think it's going to be reversed. I think it's going to be Drew that joins the Judgment Day before Jay.
Okay. Well, we'll see, right?
Yeah.
Should be a good show.
Now, before we end this little segment, let's kind of go back to the cigars and kind of the same questions that were asked to Pugz and,
fire away.
So what do you got for him?
So I'll ask what Big Dog asked Pugz.
Mm-hmm.
So when did you start smoking cigars? And again, what was your very first cigar? And did you like it? I'm going to go one more. Did you like it?
I started smoking in the early 2000s. At the time, I was working on the back of a garbage truck, and my driver smoked backwoods. And he's like, "Here, try this," and I didn't like it at all. But it got me wondering. They all can't be this bad.
Well,
and then I
There are
experimented
some
myself,
still that are that bad.
and here I am.
And how did you find the actuals? Was it just
I found the
you
Astros.
stumbled on them, or?
Nope. I got associated with the Astros through Dave and Joey. Big Dog posted one time with his patch, and I liked the logo. Skulls and everything. I'm into that. And I reached out to Big Dog, and he told me who I had to reach out to, and I reached out to Big C. And he got me in. I did my time, what I had to do, and I was patched in.
Awesome. Nice. How about you? Any questions?
I don't really have that many, to be honest with you.
All right. Well, then on that note, let's ring that bell, pay our sponsors, and we'll be right back. Turnbuckles and Stogies.
Ring the bell!
Been home about 6 months now, and I still have my doubts. Well, I'm not sure how I got here or how I'm gonna get out. Well, my mama says I look the same as I did before I left. But if she could see inside of me, it would scare her to death. Well, I can still taste the powder from the barrel of my gun, and I can hear my sergeant screaming, "Run, soldier, run!" And I can feel the backpack on my shoulders, got it weighed a ton. And I see death in every single thought. Well, they taught me how to put that uniform on. I just can't get it off. Last Saturday they honored us in a small parade downtown. And when they shot off those fireworks, I nearly hit the ground. And while they smiled and cheered for us, all I could do was stare. 'Cause part of me is here at home, but part of me's back there. Well, I can still taste the powder from the barrel of my gun, and I can hear my sergeant screaming, "Run, soldier, run!" And I can feel the backpack on my shoulders, got it weighed a ton. And I see death in every single thought. They taught me how to put that uniform on. I just can't get it on. Yeah, there's no end in sight. 'Cause even though I'm home now, I'm still fighting for my life. Well, I can still taste the powder from the barrel of my gun, and I can hear my sergeant screaming, "Run, soldier, run!" And I can feel the backpack on my shoulders, got it weighed a ton. And I see death in every single thought. Well, they taught me how to put that uniform on. I just can't get it off. Well, the devil's won some battles, and he may win some more. But don't he know the American soldier will always win the war?
Welcome back to Saturday Slam with your big boy here, Boss Dog, aka Big Dog, the Vanilla Gorilla, and the OG stepped off so we can bring on another asshole, my son's best friend, and my son's driving instructor, my daughter's driving instructor, my man, Box Press.
Hold on.
So what's up, Box Press? Tell us the same questions I'm going to ask you. When did you first start smoking cigars? Did you like it, and what was it?
I first started smoking. I was probably like 18, 19, I remember. It was me and a friend of mine. I remember when I was growing up, my aunts and uncles would smoke cigars, and I was always like intrigued by it. And I saw that my brother had a cigar in his room, actually. And I ended up taking one of his cigars, and I was with a friend. And didn't even know what kind of cigar it was. And of course, yeah, we didn't really like it at first. But then over the years, we actually got into golf, and cigars and golf go hand in hand.
Cigars, golf, and drinking.
And one of my first premium smokes that I will always remember smoking was my father's cigar, the Flores de los Antillos.
Okay.
But you haven't stopped smoking them. Of course not. So my father. Just putting that out there. Yeah.
So, number 2, where did you meet myself and Joe?
Oh, this is going way back. To be what, 8, 9 years now? Yeah, 8, 9 years. Something like that. Going back when I was, first commuting up here to Dutchess County for work with the driving school. We met at the cigar lounge actually down in Aubrey's, down in Fishkill.
Okay. And that's where we all met Pugz too. We met him there. We met Coop down there. So it's a little family here. We're all, we're all in the same vicinity, except the OG, he lives an hour away, but he makes his way around. He's got the big truck, nice truck. So how did you get into the assholes?
It's very similar to Coop actually. First started off with Dave and Joe. They I never really knew anything much about it. I saw them with the badge, and they were like, "Yo, you have to join." And I remember at first I didn't really know what to think about it. I was tossy-turny, going back and forth with it. And then I got in with Pugz. Pugz and Coop also came to me, asking if I wanted to join, and here I am.
Any questions for the young fellow over here?
No, there's not really any questions.
So wait, now that we asked everybody what they first smoked, so we're going to reiterate in front of the boys here. What was the first cigar that you smoked, son?
An Acid Blondie.
And that was on your 18th birthday?
I think so.
How did you like that?
Like that? At the time, I didn't enjoy anything of it. I did not enjoy it at all.
He wanted to come to the lounge with me, so I handed him
I didn't enjoy it in the least, honestly. If we're just being quite frank and honest there.
Tasted like potpourri, didn't it?
I don't know what it tasted like. It didn't taste good, though.
So for y'all that don't know, Box Press here, he's an entrepreneur. He owns his own driver school. If you're in the Dutchess, Poughkeepsie, Orange County area, hit him up. Put your plug out there.
You can find us at goldencrowndutchess.com. We do service all of Dutchess County and parts of few of the area across the river, Orange County, Ulster County.
And you're also in Westchester, correct?
My brother owns
Westchester area.
Yeah, and actually in Dutchess County here, where the Golden Crown Dutchess Driving School, down in Westchester County, my brother is a Golden Crown Driving School, and he services all of Westchester County.
Okay. So, how do you like being in the Ashholes?
Oh, it's great. We all, do meetups. We're all.
That's what we're doing today.
Yeah, we all do meetups. We all get together. We're all, I guess you could say, aficionados of the cigar.
And what are you smoking?
I'm smoking a AJ Fernandez box press, of course.
That's the, what is that? The Bellas Artes. That's the Maduro Perfecto, right?
Box press.
That's the
Bellas Artes.
That's the Maduro.
That's my man, box press, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a good cigar. I love that cigar.
Boy, it's one of my
when you can find it at a halfway decent price and you're not getting killed for it in New York.
Yeah, well,
I mean, every once in a while it's okay.
Yeah.
What's his favorite tagline?
Oh, there's a lot of them.
What's the one he always says?
We'll figure it out.
Not only is he box press, but we call him, when you talk to him, he goes, yeah, we'll figure it out,
Because we'll always figure it out.
We'll always figure it out. So let's go back to when we went to Middletown. Okay, we went
No, actually, you have to go back to the night me and him went to Middletown.
Oh, yeah, well,
that's how this started.
I'll let these two talk about that.
That was a fun story.
So first we were sitting in the lounge in Fishkill, and these two, I'm sitting with them.
No, the first time was you weren't there. I think you were at work, or you didn't come. Whatever. It was me and him, and we were sitting at the lounge, and it was a nice lounge. I love the guy to death. It's a great lounge. But there was nothing going on. We were sitting there watching TV.
I'm gonna
So
own that island.
we were both sitting there watching TV, and he texted me, and he was sitting right next to me. And he goes, yo, why don't we go to this other lounge? How far is it? So I Googled it. I said, well, it's only 45 minutes. So we got up. We said, all right, see you later. Bye. We jumped in the car. We drove to Middletown. And then the next day we went again. And
I actually went with them. And we walked in, and they were like, hey, Joey, hey, Terrence, hey, you brought your father, which, hey, well, what's going on? Oh, I see you brought. I'm like, you guys were only here for not even 24 hours. I said, I don't understand. I don't understand. I walk into a lounge, everybody says hi.
Well,
they walk in, they get the praise of
that's
like
because
they got.
that's because we went in and said we were friends with D.
There you go. Shout out to my man D. That was my man Black.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we went there, then we went back. I think
Everybody was black.
We went there for
that was his famous line.
We went there for some kind of just to hang out.
I swear, that's not even a
him
joke.
and I went across the street to the liquor store. We bought a bottle of Gentleman Jack. So we bought the Gentleman Jack, we finished it. So we only lived 45, 50 minutes away. So none of us went home. We went to a hotel. Don't ever go to the hotel in Fishkill that's closed down.
They're remodeling it.
They're remodeling it. So we walk in. I said, where's the elevator? The guy goes, the elevator's broken. I said, what if I was in a wheelchair? He goes, you can't get a room. Then we go downstairs for breakfast. Oh, my God. The breakfast was so nasty. The bagels were hard. The food was worried. The guy didn't even have a hairnet on. I mean, it was just so disgusting.
And then you had this fucking guy who was mad because he didn't get a smoking room.
Yeah, he didn't get a smoking room. And then he's laying there.
And then proceeded to bring his cigar upstairs.
And with his hamburger.
And then decided, because he had quite a bit of fun, that he wanted to tell me a bunch of things before he went to sleep that night.
So it was about 2 o'clock in the morning, and he's going, no, one more thing. Joey said, if you do one more thing again, I got a body slam you. So ladies and gentlemen, so this is my man Box Press from the Assholes, New York. So now we're going to pay the bills, and, we'll get back with you. Thank you.
It's the guts and it's the glory, 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes, hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana, to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop, and his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on the front line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, pay the ultimate price. Oh. marching line. Hey. Hey.
All right, welcome back, Turnbuckles and Stogies. Hey, listen, before we wrap up this show here, I just want to give a big shout out to MB Radio, Military Broadcast Radio. Thank you so much for the platform. As a veteran, I thank you very much for allowing me and my boys here to come on. And we appreciate you guys all. H, one of our producers, thank you so much, brother. And to all you military veterans out there, remember 988. Call it, text it. If you have any issues, you're not alone in this world. We're all here to support you. Call that number, text that number, 988, and you'll get help at your fingertips. So now, let's wrap up the show. What do you think?
So now we got the owner of Hanjo's place back. So we're gonna talk about, I know all you guys see all the stuff behind us, and we're gonna ask him, how did you come about building this? And where do you get all your stuff from?
Okay, so as you know, we think we might have mentioned Aubrey before. We love Aubrey. For most of us, Max was down at his shop in Fishkill with Cigar Eagle, actually, which was our first quasi group, which we did a lot of shit together.
That is still
somewhat
like that. Somewhat around.
So once we stopped hanging out down there, we just started hanging out on my porch and other random places. And God bless Mr. Kelly, who's now in Florida.
Oh, shout out to his ashtray.
He put up with all of our bullshit.
Yeah, yes, he did, but he gave us some bullshit.
Oh yeah, he did. And shout out to his rocking chair like this.
Yeah, his freaking rocking chair.
His rocking chair,
with the shocks on the back. So he was looking. He saw us posting pictures, hanging out on the porch, and he's like, "You mind if I come over?" And one day he came over, and it was kind of nasty and cold out. And we were sitting on the porch. He's like, "Guys, I'm cold, man." He's like, "Can we go sit in the garage?" So I was like, "Yeah, it's all shitty in there and everything, but you know, why not?" So
we made the best of it, though.
It was pretty much almost identical to this, except a couple of feet shorter. And we were kind of jammed in here. There was furniture lined up on this side, which was kind of acting like a wall. And I don't know, after 3 or 4 times of ducking out of the cold, because it was in the fall. And
we had the little heater in here.
Yeah, we had all sorts of various heat
apparatuses.
We never built a fire in fear of burning the fucking place down. But,
well, no, Mr. Kelly used to build the fires in the ashtray with the cigars.
Yeah.
So he built the fire for us.
Yeah, pretty much. And he'd be sitting there rocking and, just like, man, looking at the layout here, take half of this place and make it a lounge. And it was just like, literally, it just took off from there. And then from that point, from between Dave and Joey coming at various times, Donnie, who's not here, Coop did all the freaking electrical work.
Shout out
because I needed outlets all over the fucking place for lights.
All these various apparatuses that now have all over.
So it was like, there's outlets pretty much everywhere to handle lights and whatever other shit we decided to plug in. And once COVID hit, I was out here sometimes 6-8 hours a day. Coop would come over sometimes if he had got half a day and blast out 4 hours of work. And the next thing you know, a few months later, it was done. And then it just kept going from there, just decorating, which was the fun part.
And as you can see, all the stuff behind us, there's more all over, on the ceiling, over there. So we want to thank the assholes for being with us today because our time is running out. So we want to thank the assholes for being with us. We want to thank them for having us in Hanjo's place. And on that note, we want to thank MBR Radio. We want to thank everybody for viewing in. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, this is Saturday Slam with Big Dog, the OG Cigar Tender, the Vanilla Gorilla, and the New York Assholes. Peace.
That's the show for today, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with an all-new show. And remember, you can listen to us again and again. The podcast of this radio show is available right after we go off the air tonight, anywhere that you can get your podcast episodes. And thanks for joining us today. I'd like to take a moment to talk about something close to my heart. Military Broadcast Radio is doing incredible work to support our veterans and bring their voices to the world. They rely on your generous donations and your dedicated volunteer hours to make it happen. I encourage you to consider supporting NBR in any way, form that you can. Use this QR code that's attached to the picture, or you can go to our website at mbradio.us. That's MikeBravoRadio.us to learn more about how you can donate or volunteer even just an hour a week from your home. Help make a difference in the lives of our veterans, because once again, we're all here for you and not for us. We're giving